Hello and welcome to my tutorial stream on the Big P82, and this is Star Trek on the PS4, but this will also cover the Xbox version as well. Just minor button layouts that will cover the differences between the two. However, what we're going to cover here in this part one is the basics of what you do when you basically start the game, because this is for new players really, because it's quite, it's an online game, it's free and stuff like that, and you come in and then you start playing the game and things start snowballing and start going wrong for you, and then that's when you get frustrated, you delete the game and you leave, and that's not good for the game. So first things first, we'll go over what the game's characters are, and the different classes that the game has to offer. Now, when you first start up the game, you'll have a blank slate. I have 16 characters here of different varieties. But when you start, you'll say make your very first character. So what you do is you click on new character, and then you have different factions. Each faction has their own unique starting story and their own tutorial, which you will have to do. But once you've passed that, you've made your character. You won't have to bother with the tutorial again for any future characters. Now, should note that while Discovery Starfleet, TOS Starfleet have their own story arcs set in the early ages of the game, so that start year there is 2270 for TOS era, and 2256 for the Discovery. Once you pass the tutorial missions for both those characters, you end up doing the same story arc as someone from the 2409 Starfleet. So just bear in mind. Now, the reason why that's flashing is because it's a recruitment event going on at the time of this. Basically means you can create a special character. I would recommend creating a special character because they get special bonuses, which is account wide. So if you make an initial character, go back and make a Dominion character, and then you'll have the benefits of a Dominion recruit, which I will show you what a Dominion recruit actually looks like. So you selected your character. Most people will sugarcoat it. They're going to go towards Starfleet because you're a Star Trek fan. You want to play a Starfleet captain. So here's your races. Hopefully I can cancel this. Some of you want to make one. So some of these you won't have, and these are all your initial ones. Cartesian is from Bolian you'll have human, Andorian, Bolian, Bendazite, Betazoid, Bolian, Bajoran, Packleg, Virginian, Silurian, Tellarite, Trill, Vulcan, and you can make your own. So we'll make a Vulcan. Hopefully I will be able to cancel this. So you've made your character. Now you have the three options of what your career is going to be. Now, career is Star Trek Online's basic equivalency of what your class is. If you've played an MMO before, you have your tank, you have your damage dealer, and you have your healer. Well, it's the same thing on this game, except they're they vary depending on if you're in ground combat or in space combat. Starfleet engineers, or engineers, any engineer, on the ground are your techies, they're not so much your tanks. They can tank, but not really. But they deploy turrets, healings and shields. In space, they are tanks. They buff their ability of the ships that they fly. Generally, rule of thumb for engineers is they must be in cruisers. I'll go over the ship classes when we get into the game, but you must be in it. I recommend a cruiser whenever you're an engineer. To fly anything else is pointless. Science officers in ground combat are your healers. In space, they're not so much. Engineers can do healing as well. I would say that engineers are better healers than science officers. Science officers in space can throw out anomalies and stuff like that, and they're basically your damage dealers. Also can placate, which is going down to another thing, which is not. But tactical officers, no matter if it's in space or on ground, they are your damage dealers. They go all out to make as much damage as possible. Science officers, clearly, as it says, you fire a science vessel. And tactical officer, escorts. So those are your classes. So you've selected your class and you've gone through the tutorial. So what happens when you start up the game? So what I said, I was going to show off the Delta, a Gamma Quadrant, a Gamma Recruit, which is the current event is. So I will load up my tactical officer so like I can. The good thing about the Jemadar is that the Jemadar start at rank 60. They're basically the end game characters. Because we're on Earth space dock. So you come over here. This is the Gamma Recruit. So Gamma Recruit, these are all the bonuses you get as a Gamma Recruit, and these are account unlockable. So you reach level 65, complete a queue, complete 100 queues. They're finally giving you a thing here, and complete swarm queue 5 times. Specializations, stuff like that. So you created your Jemadar for argument's sake, and they give you a free ship. But yeah, so that's Jemadar. That's a Gamma Recruit. You've missed the opportunity to make a Delta Recruit, and the Klingon Recruit's now gone. So I don't think they're going to be bringing them back, but don't quote me on that. They probably will bring them back, but yeah. So we'll change characters. So that's the character classes. So let's see. Someone else who's an engineer who's actually on Earth space stock. Always on there. Yeah, here's another one of my string characters, Jessica. I'm still in my star lines. So this is my engineer. Right, so basics, do's and don'ts when you now. So we're going over the character creations, what all your characters are. So this is my engineer. She's level 65. Ignore her rank for the moment. Here she is. This is Jessica of my engineer, on my 24 and 9 engineer character. So she's I've been using her since 2019. So she's at basically the highest level you can get. So
in order to restore
yeah, well, yeah. So basic do's and don'ts. Now I am an engineer. I operate in. If you come over here, this is Deep Space Nine. You won't have this area yet. So it is DS9. So DS9 is pretty much the same as Earth space stock. You acquire ships and you customize your ship. So as you rank up, you get a free ship token, which is the equivalent of basically giving you a free ship. Every level up until tier 5, up to tier 6, they'll give you as a free ship, regardless. They do expect you to. Now, as a tier 5 ship can do endgame, but they do expect you to purchase a tier 6 ship. But I won't go into the details of purchasing a tier 6 ship. So this is tier 2, and ship classes are broken up into individuals. Now they've recently allowed you to use ships from other races. So the Romulans and Klingons now are joined together as on a Federation character. You can now use them. So, but if you're a tactical officer, tier 1, there's not much you can do about your ship. Tier 1, you get the Old Faithful. Get Old Faithful here, which is the Miranda class. But tier 2 is the very first time that you get to choose the ship of your class. Now, a common thing for new players to do, and I have done it, is that when you get to tier 2, you get that free ship. You're going through all that thing, you get that little token that gives you a ship, and no matter what you do, what everyone always does, no matter what class they are, if you're a tactical officer or a science officer, is you always will gear towards the cruisers. Why would you gear towards the cruisers? Well, basically because they're the most common ships that you see in Star Trek. At tier 2, this is the Constitution class. You get to fly the movie Enterprise, and people want to do that. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not. I wouldn't recommend doing it. Excuse me. You're an engineer. If you're an engineer, you fly the cruisers. You're a tactical officer. You fly the escorts. Yes, the escorts are spongy. Yes, they're some of them are pretty bad. I mean, I think this the escort. So this is the tier 1. This is the tier 2 escort. And yeah, it's whole. I think if you want to give it, its hull's terrible, but you get the benefit that you can fit cannons. A cruiser, you can't fit cannons. Cannons are excellent weapons. And science officers, you get to fly the Nova class, which is the USS Equinox, the episode Equinox. But yeah, you get tempted by these. I mean, excuse me again. It's the Cheyenne escorts here. You get your Kira. But I recommend that you stick with your class. Stick with your thing. You can fly warbirds if you want, Warbirds are a completely different kettle of fish. Warbirds are Romulan, and they're quite unique in their way, because they get a tactical cloak, but the tactical cloak is broken. Which is annoying. So that's the basics of do's and don'ts. Just make sure you stay with the ship of your category. You're an engineer, you stick with cruisers. You're a tactical officer, you must stick with escorts. If you're a science officer, you must stick with a science vessel. You can mix and match it when you reach the higher levels, but generally stay. It's the old adage of just stay your lane, really. So, what else should we cover in this part one? The basics. Missions. Now, missions, some of them can be quite annoying, some of them can be quite daunting, but with the benefits of replaying missions.
We have a diplomatic mission for you. An important Vulcan ambassador is traveling.
Right, so let's say diplomatic orders. If you come over to the active missions, yeah. So if you replay the mission, so for argument, if you replay it and you're struggling for part of like equipment or stuff, you replay a mission, you're guaranteed to get a piece of equipment geared to your level, whatever level you currently are. So say you're a lieutenant commander, you'll get, if you replay diplomatic orders, you'll get all that gear there. Well, an option of that gear. Diplomatic orders is a pretty short mission. I mean, it takes a couple of minutes. It take about 20 minutes to do. Fly through it and get your equipment. So it's quite easy to do. You just replay missions. I'll put a link in here in the description for this once I finish the thing, which will take you to the Star Trek Online wiki, and you just pick the missions where they give you the and it tells you what each mission gives you initially, and when you initially play it, and then when you do the replay. I mean, for like a mission, say in the Delta Quadrant, I think it's this mission here, Dust to Dust.
We have a situation.
See, Dust to Dust, as annoying as and how much I fucking hate this mission, and I fucking do hate this mission. But Dust to Dust, it gives you a set. If you replay it 3 times, you'll get 3 parts of the Kabali set. Now, unfortunately, you can't complete the set, because to complete the set you need the San. You need the Kabali ship to be able to do it. I don't think I've got any tokens to show. Oh, some boxes. You'll need is it here? Yeah, you'll need that, which comes with the warp core, which is required to complete the Kabali set. So you can get 3 pieces of the set. I'll go over the Phoenix Prize stuff when I cover the R&D, which will be the next stream. But it's a sense, as daunting as this game is when you initially start it, it feels like it's like throwing you in the deep end, and it kind of does throw you in the deep end. So once it passed the tutorial, it's told you how to do this, this and that. It goes, right, well, good luck. And well, that's what most MMORPGs will do. They just go, you know what, good luck to you. May God have mercy on your soul. And as long as you follow the golden rule, is that if you follow this golden rule, I'm an engineer, I will fly cruisers. I'm a tactical officer, I will fly escorts, and I will wreck people's day because that's how fun it is. And science officer, I'm a science officer, I'll fly a science vessel and I'll piss people off with singularities. And it is fun to piss people off with singularities, even though most people don't play PvP anymore. PvP on this game is dead on its arse. Not really much else to cover in the basics. So what I'll do, I'll end the stream here, and then in the next one we'll discuss how to build out your character and what you initially need to do, what basically what you need for your character, how to build out a tactical officer, how to build out an engineering officer, and how to build out a science officer when you initially start the game. If you don't have any more characters, it's not going to be pointless. But I'll cover basically what you need to do, how to get certain items that you can have, how to get them, and how helpful they are. So, I'm the Big B82. Please subscribe, comments are welcome, and I appreciate any thumbs up. And I will see you in part 2 when we cover character builds. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and ciao for now.